I did not expect to have to make another video for the Raptors today other than the game tonight. However, out of nowhere really, the Raptors re-sign Norman Powell to a 4-year, $42 million contract. Now, this does a lot for our brains. That sounds stupid when I say it, but listen to it. We have been preaching. We have been talking. We talked all last year, throughout the playoffs, and even into this season, about Norman Powell should be getting enough playing time, should be getting more time to play. It's stupid. Whenever he's out there, he's a stud. Well, not whenever, but most of the time. And the Raptors organization clearly have faith in Norman Powell, and they see a future with this guy. Now, I know us as Raptor fans, we see it. But we don't know what Dwayne Casey was seeing, what the coaching staff was seeing, what Masai was seeing. Clearly, they want him back for term. 4 years at $42 million, shade over $10 million a season. Look, DeMarre Carroll was making more than him. Think about it that way. So, getting Norman, I mean, he can be a huge impact for this team if you play him enough. Now, I think, obviously, with the offseason going the way it did and going into the season with more of a younger, bench, I think Norman Powell's going to get a lot more time. Now, I totally agree that should happen because of how much of an impact player Norman Powell can be. And, he can take a game over at some point, right? There might be a game where DeMar's not playing too hot. Norm comes in and just starts lighting it up. Or vice versa. DeMar's lighting it up. Norm comes in, not so great. Norman Powell has the opportunity to really get red hot in a game. There are times where he goes ice cold, but it's the same with every player. Norman Powell, I love the guy. And remember, how did we get Norman Powell? It was in the Gravis Vasquez trade. I think it was to the Milwaukee Bucks. And no one really, I think you got like a second-round pick for him. You're like, what is this useless stuff? It's turned into Norman Powell. And everybody after the draft pick was like, okay, this guy's not bad. Then you saw him in the summer league, and you're like, wow, this guy is very good. And then the rest is history, as we know what Norman Powell is all about now. And I look at Norman Powell as a player that could possibly have a very, very, very big, bright future with this team. Just because of how he plays. He plays hard. He's quick. He's very, very athletic. We saw, shoot, in game 1 of the preseason, he's dunking hard. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And he also is a fan favorite. We on the channel, if you haven't been around since last year, you obviously know that Norman Powell hasn't been getting a lot of minutes and was getting stretches of, he was getting some starts, but then he was benched for games. And we're like, what's going on here? This guy's a huge impact player. Why aren't you playing him? And it was the whole up and down thing. And clearly, they're going to be using him. They're going to be paying him. And he's going to be playing a lot of basketball over the next 4 years with the Toronto Raptors. Nothing but positive out of this because of what he can be. And like I said, he's a fan favorite. He gets energy. He gets pumped up constantly. Whenever he throws one down, you see him yelling into the crowd, and that gets everybody going. You know what I mean? And adding him to an already, how do I put it? With contract situations, obviously DeMar signed last year, Kyle signed this year. Now you've got Norman Powell, now long-term JV signed. And I think it was CJ Miles as well signed and Serge Ibaka. So you've got a big core with some term on them, and that's pretty good to have. So you don't have any big contract issues coming up in the near future. Obviously, guys like DeLon Wright are going to be coming up, Jakob Poeltl eventually. But those aren't contracts that are going to hurt you bad. Maybe DeLon Wright, I don't know what this season's going to bring for him, so we're just going to have to wait and see what happens there. But this video is about my main man, Norman Powell. And you know what? Just because he is now going to be a Raptor for 4 more years, let me know your top 2 Norman Powell moments. I know he hasn't had a lot, but I know one for sure, and that was when, I think it was in Indiana, in the playoffs, where he stole the ball and then just absolutely threw down a hammer. And I think it was like we were down a big at one point, and that like tied the game. I forgot exactly what the situation was, and it was a huge hammer. He almost lost the ball. I remember he was getting it in the palm and threw it down. But my goodness, what a play by Norman Powell. And also, he's very good defensively as well. I just really enjoy watching Norman Powell play. We're going to be seeing a lot more of him over the next 4 years. We know that for sure, all right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video and you are happy Norman Powell's back, smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below. Again, what do you guys think of the contract, Norman Powell? Too much, too little? Let me know what you guys think. And what do you think? 4 years? Solid for Norm? I think so. I think 4 years at a fairly cheap contract, I think is pretty darn good for Norman Powell. Like I said, let me know what your guys' top 2 Norman Powell moments are. I want to know what you guys have to say. And we'll talk to you guys, what it'll be, Saturday. Leafs edition. Live stream, baby! Yeah, live stream the home opener. That's what we're doing on Saturday night. Hockey night in Canada. We're live streaming. Oh, it's going to be fun. We're going to be starting about 10-15 minutes before puck drop, or before 7 o'clock, so kind of like 6:50. We'll be starting up the stream. Hope you guys are ready for that. We'll talk to you guys Leafs edition post-game then. And also Raptors edition later tonight. Yeah, this is the last late one for a while, people. 10 o'clock tip-off, Raptors, Trailblazers. Hopefully Norman Powell's in the lineup with his new contract. Talk to you guys then.